Yes, clearly the growth stage startups need an accelerator program just like an early stage startup does. Obviously, the needs are different. In a growth stage company, they already would have got a set of customers, the product market fitment would have been proven in their home country. The platform is almost ready to go global and to get into new markets and new verticals. But that is exactly where they start facing a challenge when they move outside of their comfort zone, as I call it, because getting into new markets is courage zone for most of the growth stage startups. That is exactly where an accelerator comes in. An accelerator obviously helps them in identifying markets, verticals, templates, tools, frameworks. How do you handle finances? How do you handle cash flows when you're getting into the new areas? And that is a great value that an accelerator can bring on the table, and exactly what a growth stage startup team needs. A lot of these companies actually falter during the growth stage. We have seen many companies do very well at the early stages, but them at the growth stage they don't do well, primarily because of these reasons. And accelerator programs have to step in during this stage for these companies. Mentoring is so critical because the founding teams are technologists. The people, the companies they hire are all technologists to start with. At the growth stage, the needs of an organization and the startup changes. That is where a mentorship program makes a lot of difference, because in that mentorship program you can bring in people who can talk about growth, scale, new markets, new verticals, new geographies, how to handle finances. And those are very specific and targeted towards the needs of that particular startup. No one startup has the same needs as the other, even though they may be in the same field and addressing the same problem statement. That is where a mentor can actually make a lot of difference. But at the same time, the mentor also has to be very careful that they don't bring the same solutions back to the different startups. So the right combination of growth stage startup with the mentors is so critical for companies in this stage. If you look at the various accelerator programs that are available in the market, there are hundreds and thousands of them actually in every geography and every vertical. There is one, but the growth stage startup mentorship program or fast track program isn't really available. So Wadhwani Foundation, kudos to them and the foundation for starting a foundation which focuses on growth stage startups and early stage startups. I love the way they bring in the mentors, the way the interactions happen. It is quite time bound, but at the same time, it is very KPI driven, very objective driven. That is exactly what the startups really need. Startups don't need a lot of theory-based conversations. They need very practical conversations to happen. And that is exactly what I think Wadhwani Foundation and the team members and the mentors associated with them bring on the table. That's the great value that the startups get out of this program. And I would believe that that this needs to go on a global basis, where Wadhwani Foundation does have a global ecosystem to bring in to bear for the startup ecosystem. I think, to be honest, it's been a great learning experience for me. Mentoring for me is a wrong word. I think it's more of sharing opinions and experiences. The startups, the cohort that Wadhwani Foundation today has is phenomenal. They're very innovative startups. They've done very well for themselves to get to this stage. And the conversations that we've had with them, with some of them, have been very encouraging. They understand the nuances. They know the shortcomings. They know where they're faltering. And when I'm able to share my experiences around those areas, they are very open-minded. I think that is exactly what this program also has to bring on the table. That the startups are open-minded. They're able to accept challenges. I've been pushing some of the startups to look at new things, new areas, find new ways of addressing challenges, and all of them have been very open from that standpoint. So I think mentorship in that context has been a great experience for me, and I'm sure between us and the startups, we can really create a very strong growth foundation for this ecosystem.